Now, there's a little bit of a catch in here, so there's something that we have to keep an eye on, but let's have a look at it. It says, display all the people, employees, who either work in York or Leeds. So, I'm just going to do the SQL here. We know we've got an emp table, we know we've got a department table, and we want to see people who work in York or Leeds. Okay, so we've got York or Leeds. So we're going to need to combine these two tables together. So let's do that. Start off with select from where. Select from where. We know we're going to need to use the emp table and the department table. And we'll need to add a condition to ensure that those two tables are connected together correctly. So we know it's going to be emp.department number equals department.department number. And let's just add a star for the moment. So we know that's working okay. If I just bring that up, oops, there we go, like that. Now, back into the SQL. This says, display all the people who work in either York or Leeds. So we start off and we kind of go, oh, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use an and what we're specifically looking for is people who work in these two locations. So we could go, well, that information is in the lock column, as you can see here. So we want to go something like lock equals York, and remember it's a string, so we need to put quotes in like that. Lock equals York, or lock equals Leeds. There we are. So combine the two tables together on the condition, but we've got these extra conditions that basically say, well, we're only particularly interested in particular rows with York or Leeds. So now if we run that, you can see we've got loads and loads of different rows here. Something's gone wrong. And you can see that something's gone wrong because the department number columns now no longer match up. Let's go back to the SQL. And our problem is when we added in these ands and ors, different things are actually happening. Now, this is to do with precedence, and you've probably seen precedence more commonly when you're dealing with mathematical operations to do with, for example, BODMAS. BODMAS enables us to know that certain operations occur before certain other operations. Well, so there's something very similar in logic, and in logic, brackets are done first and then nots, and then ands are done before ors. So by inadvertently writing this down, what we've effectively done is we've prioritised and lock equals York. So what we're effectively doing is this. I can put brackets in here to sort of show you. What we've effectively done is we've said, show me rows where the department number is equal to that department, but also and where location is York. So we get incorrectly matched rows. Of course, what we actually wanted to do was this. We actually want to make sure that this whole subpart of the predicate is done together. So in other words, combine those two tables together on department number, along with the condition that either York or Leeds must be shown in the location field. And now if we run that, you can see that we do get the correct department numbers. Now, part of the problem here is that this is actually only asking us to show ename. So if you put ename in here and you didn't realise that this was occurring, you might look at that and you'll be puzzled as to why have we suddenly got all these duplicate bits of information. And the worst case scenario is that you don't actually realise that there's duplicate bits of information in here because the query is written incorrectly. So you just have to be really careful when you're using Cartesian Product and Join with ands and ors. And you always have to think about the priority of operation. An and has a higher priority than or, so that would mean that this and that and would be done before the or location equals leads bit. So to make it work correctly, I'm just going to put the brackets in here, combine the two tables together, but then only after we've combined the two tables together, keep the rows where we're talking about the location being York or Leeds. And it looks like that. And there's our correct data set at the end.